Hi guys, welcome to tutorial 3. What we're doing today is selecting the papers, printing them up and getting them prepared and ready for the journal, and also adding some extra pockets and flips and tucks. First thing I'm going to show you is how I've printed the papers up. I've double printed them so that we don't have to back them onto any other papers. Sometimes they have like the music paper on one side, this one, the advertising spots. There are 12 altogether here, by the way. One thing I am going to do to make sure it fits into my journal is to take about 1 centimetre or slightly less than 1 centimetre off the top of here and the bottom. You have to check with the designs how much you want to take off and then repeat that exact amount throughout all the pages. Now I've trimmed off 1 centimetre from the top and the bottom. The next thing to do is to bone fold at the creases where each page has been folded so that you get a nice sharp crease, and also decide at the time which way you want the paper to go. It's quite a busy pattern to go against that, so the next one I want something like the dots. Here we've got pattern, dots, music score, pattern. That's still quite busy. That I want to be the central one, so I know that's going to go in the center. Here we've got something less busy and with squares inside. I think that works. That's a plain with squares. I'm trying to alternate between a very busy page, which will end up with a pocket or a flip on it, and having some plain writing pages. I'm going to quickly take you through the order that I've done here. Starting with a picture, we then have a blank page and an aligned page that has a small decoration. A decorative page, aligned page. Highly decorative page, a slightly decorative page. You could write on that one. Writing pages, pages for pockets. Writing page, a page for some kind of decoration. You get plenty of writing pages and decorated pages that you're going to add things to, and that will be the center page. When you put them together, because there's a lot of papers there's 12 and they're printed on 120 GSM, so they're quite sturdy papers, you will see that the edges are all different widths. Now this is personal preference, but what you can do is make sure that everything is tightly together by giving it a tap. You can take a metal ruler, find the point where you would be cutting through all the pages. That definitely takes a slice off even the narrowest page. Holding it, you are going to gently cut through, and as a piece comes away, you let that fall to the side so that each time you're cutting through slightly less. Takes some doing. Now you have edges that neatly line up with each other. The next thing I'm doing on every single page is to add corners. Now I've rounded all the corners of those pages, the next stage I'm going to do is to ink the edges. Again, this is personal preference, you don't have to do this. I have the Distress Vintage Photo here, and by using this furniture pad on a cork, you get a stronger distress. So if you prefer something softer, use the original foam. I'm simply going to go around all the edges that are going to be exposed, including spines. Turn it inside out and do the same around all those edges, and then that back page. and do it for all your papers. All the journal papers are prepared. It's time to go through them and add decorations. To do that, I've printed up some extra sheets plus the ephemera, which is already cut and ready to go. These extra sheets will be used for making decorations, adding pockets and such like. First thing we're going to do is cut these triangles out and use those along with the striped paper to make journaling spots for heavily decorated pages. To create interest with this page design, what we'll do is we'll do different size rectangles and squares. That's our 4 options. This one is going to go slightly over those edges. That's fine, we just trim it up afterwards. Matchy matchy. It's up to you whether you stain at this point or decide you've done enough staining. I will stain all the edges. I'll use my thin art glitter glue to add the corners. You can take variety a little bit further than just sizing. With this one, you could create a tuck spot by not gluing one of the sides. For example, we could create a tuck spot in the bottom corner one, which would mean we'd only glue the bottom and the far side. You have a tuck spot version of that design. Another way to make the same design a bit different would be to create a background for the design. We can now mat and layer and also put either one or both corners down. I think this time I'm going to go for one, and that will be that design. With the other corner, we're going to create a bigger pocket type tuck spot. Take it up from the bottom of the triangle. Now we've created a square shape, which will become a pocket. With the 4th one, we're going to do a variation on a theme. Before we had a bottom tuck spot, this time we're going to have a top one. And then we can either add this one as a non-tuck spot there, or we can use it separately on a different page as a tuck spot, and I think I will do that. From that 1 or 2 sheets, we've got quite a few decorations already for the journal. Let's go through some of these pages. So we have a tuck spot, and I think that would work. I'm going to go to the back of the pages and see what we could do with these. This one will need something. That makes just a writing space, but it works quite well. Keeping moving through the journal for these particular decorations. This I think I could cover up quite well with a huge writing space. We do have this music score here, and it's opposite a plain page, so I may trim this one down and put it actually to one side so you see the music score. We only have 2 more decorations to find spots for. Doesn't really work with that page. I wonder if this one works better. I think I prefer that as a tuck spot on this page. This could be a pocket central to the newspaper page. Now that all the triangles have been used up, I'm going to use the long strips as tuck spots or belly bands. I may need to cut them down a bit, they seem quite long. I think maybe, see what colour goes. Oh yeah, I like the blue on that page. By just pinching that slightly inwards, you get enough depth on the pocket. I might use this one on this page. This one I've done as a belly band, and I might put it on here. Now I think it's time to use some of the spare papers to make different styles of pockets or tuck spots. The first type I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 squares and stack them diagonally on top of each other. I'm going to use this card that's had the corner cut out of it to shape the 2 squares that I've made, cut a corner off all 4 sides, taking a halfway point on the pockets, and they were originally 10, so halfway is 5, and then a circle punch, lining that up to be in the center of part of a circle punch. We're going to glue them down so that one stacks on top of the other on this highly patterned paper. Next style of pocket, I'm using a plain piece of very light copy weight paper, 80 to 90 GSM. I'm taking the top corner on my right and bringing it down until it meets the edge. Then we take this bit and turn it under. Try and line it up as good as possible. That's now the back of the pocket. We take this, line it up with the edge again. Now you have a pocket here and a pocket here when it's glued down. And now we bring this little corner back, glue down the bits you need to glue down along this edge, seal that piece down, seal the base of this one. When you see where you want your pockets, you can then see where you want to seal down again. You want to seal along this back edge. You have a pocket and a pocket. Demonstrate with a ruler. Tiny one there, bigger one there, big one there. You could even leave a tuck spot behind it as well if you wanted to, and I might. So then you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Actually, something we could do here is if we take another picture of that and cut that circle out, we could glue it down so that it becomes a tuck spot. Cut the circle out and edged it, and I'm going to glue down one side or one half and leave the other half free. This side is now tuck spot. I have already pre-made a decorated envelope on a Creator Club Live. All I've done is put some papers over a plain envelope, front, back and even inside. This could then be used on here and it flips out. I'll want a strip of something to hide the envelope flap, so we'll put that down first and then find a decorative strip. You have a paper like this which is basically plain with a bit of poppy on it that you could use. With the cover-up band you could do it so that it becomes a tuck spot or pocket in itself, and you would also have the flip over it. That will mean gluing on 3 sides. This probably now is decorated enough. Just double check. We have this, plenty of writing space. That's a tuck spot. That's a tuck spot. Another big pocket. This is a tuck spot. Here you've got a multi-pocket. A flip pocket that was an envelope and a big tuck spot pocket. A writing space. Can leave that just decorated. You don't have to cover every single decorated page. That's being left. Double pockets. Another pocket. That one's being left. belly band. I think that is a pocket that way, quite a tight one. Is that a tuck spot there? And that, is that it? That feels quite thick. Something on this side, a writing space. And that is the signature decorated and ready to go into the journal.